Hello. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. So this morning we're going to do the first leaf for the leaves pattern for the September stitch along. And it looks like this. You can use whichever color that you'd like. And at the beginning of each video, so I'm not sure if you've watched my videos before, normally I will tell you what the stitch is, and then I will tell you how many strands. Normally I'll thread my needle at the same time, and then after that, if you have any questions, just type them in, and then I'll answer them as we go. So today we're going to do the fly stitch, and we're going to use the fly stitch to make a leaf. So if you notice on the actual pattern, like the pattern, hi George, the pattern that I sent you, there's no lines here. And that's okay, because the threads will make the lines for you. So all you have to remember when you're doing your stitches is we want the stitches here to kind of come down at an angle, not across. Yeah, so I'll show you exactly what I mean. You want them to be down at an angle like that. And we're off. So I've cut some thread. I've just chosen a random green, and actually it's very close to the green I used the first time. All 6 strands. I like to put a little knot on the end of my thread. Just like that. Some people don't like to put a knot. They like to do all their stitching and then knot afterwards, and that's completely fine as well. Totally up to you. I do want to say that a lot of the times I'll show you how I do it. And if you do it a little bit differently, that's completely okay. There's no right or wrong way. I'm just showing you how I like to do things. And that's all right if it's a little bit different, or you can show me a different way that you do it. That's all okay. Hi, Tash. How are you this morning? All right, so I'm going to get started. So we're going to come up from the bottom. And what we're going to do is do the one side of the leaf first, then come back down here and do the other side of the leaf, and then we'll fill in the middle and we'll be finished. So let me see if I can zoom in, because I know some people quite like that, to see. Okay. Good. Hello. So it's kind of like the detached chain stitch. So if you've done any stitching with me before, I've used that quite a lot for little leaves like this one, or like petals on flowers. So it's kind of like that one. So instead of coming down right next to this, we're going to come up just a little bit like that. You're going to keep your thumb on this thread. So this is what I mean about making sure that your next stitch is not straight over like this. You want it to be up on an angle so that you can get that nice inside leaf to have a nice slant to it. So I'll come up here. I made this string really long, I guess. And you're just gonna pull it kind of tight, but not like really tight. Yeah? And then you're gonna do the exact same thing again. So just like we started. And you're not gonna have a lot of stitches here. Maybe only 4 or 5 on this side. Hello. So We're using a green thread, all 6 strands. And we're doing a fly stitch. Now, as you get to the top, you can't space out your stitches. Let me just turn the music down a little bit. It got a little bit loud at that point. So as you get towards the top, you don't want them to be so far apart because we're gonna run out of space for the middle of the leaf, but we'll have lots of space left over. So you're gonna make these a little bit closer together. So what I'm talking about is the space between these 2 stitches and these 2 stitches. And this is gonna go right in the tip like this. Yeah, so we have one side finished and you're gonna end it there. So just put a tiny little stitch on the other side. One side done. Exciting? Okay, so I'm caught. Okay, so I'm gonna come right back down here because this is all contained in the same leaf. It's totally fine. Yeah, so you can see it a little bit. You can cut it there if you want, but for the sake of, yeah, I cut it last time. So for the sake of showing, I will ignore that line. So if you're new, my biggest pet peeve is when you can see the thread behind, because you really shouldn't see the threads kind of going like from here to here. You want to keep all of your thread contained kind of in the space that you're stitching so that you don't see it or that other people don't see it. But that's okay. For this one, it's okay. So now we're going to do the other side. So for this one, because this right here is thinner from here to here than it is from here to here. So this one we'll have to do a couple that are straight across. That's definitely a piece of my hair. So we'll just keep going to fill it in. Obviously, the closer that you put these stitches together, the more solid that they will look. So I want mine to be quite spaced out. And they don't have to meet at each point either. They can become all random if you want it to be like that. So this one's gonna be a big one. Whoa. Now we're almost to the end. So you can see if I go straight up that it will almost fit. But I think I'm gonna do one more stitch. Now a lot of this will depend on how you've stitched it, meaning how your leaf is, so how many of these little stitches that you've done. So this is where you might have to kind of use your head a little bit to see if you can get one more stitch in or if you should just end it. So for mine, I'm gonna do my last stitch. Obviously, if I do it the same as before, there'll be a little gap here. So if I put it down there, the leaf won't be whole at the top. So what I'm going to do is just put it straight under that little stitch that I just did, and that will make the leaf connect at the top. Just like that. Now all we have to do is a little back stitch for the stem and we'll be finished. So I'm gonna go from here because there's already a straight line there. And we're just gonna do a little back stitch all the way down the middle. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them and I will answer as I go. Be careful of the knot that we did the very first stitch. Remember we did a little knot there? So just be a little bit careful of that. I want to go right before it. And there we are. First one is done. So that's how the first one looks. Sometimes you might have to take your needle and like smooth the threads out a little bit. That's okay. And then on the back, to finish it, you can either make a little knot like that, and I just use my nail to push the knot all the way down, or you can cut a little bit more thread and then separate the two pieces and do a double knot like you would if you were to like tie your shoes, but make it a double knot. So obviously we used 6 strands, and then you just double knot. You can do it either way. You don't have to do both. Just do one or the other. Yeah? And then when we're finished, we just cut them a little bit short. And that's day 1 finished. Okay. So as always, after the video is ended, it will be on Instagram for 24 hours and people can come back and watch it whenever they want, over and over and over. And then I also save all of these videos and post them onto YouTube. So if you ever need to pause, have another look, watch again, mute my voice, that's completely fine. So yeah, if you have both the flowers and the leaves pattern, I will see you tomorrow. If you just have the leaves pattern, then I will see you on Tuesday to do this little baby. Okay? So hope you have a great Sunday. I think we might be going to watch rugby. I'm not sure. David's hurt his back, so he can't play at the moment. But we will see. We'll see what we do today. So, oh no, she says, I'm not sure how my pattern is back to front. I think I saw that in your stories, actually. Maybe you got it flipped around for some reason. But it doesn't really matter if you want it. So what she's saying is that this one doesn't start all the way on the left. It starts all the way over here. So all of these are swapped. And that's all right. It'll still look the same, just backwards. All right, well, have a great day. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. If you share in your stories, then you can share with hashtag TheBarmyFoxSAL. And be sure to tag me. If you don't tag me, then I can't repost it. So make sure you tag at TheBarmyFox as well. Okay? Have a good Sunday. Bye.